If I was going to build the most effective war machine today, it would be the war machine that, basically Silicon Valley built. It is literally the most dangerous weapon known to mankind because it's subtle, but it doesn't own those platforms. China owns those platforms. How does somebody collect data about you? And the answer is the software development kits for the applications that run on the devices have data about your device that they collect. Those developers collect. It's sold on the open market. Anybody can buy it. You can buy it. I can buy it. And then you can take that data and you can look at it and you can stare at it. You can get an Intel analyst, or you can put do a massive learning model like ChatGPT, go over that data and begin to look at information. And so, what does that look like? Well, it looks like when you look at data on a military base, for example. You can see when devices are at a certain location, what devices are at a certain location. So you can start to see things like shift changes, and you can start to see like generations. And so you start to get a good picture of the ops tempo and the daily behaviors going on at the base. But also you can watch that and you can see, hey, this device was in this location. And this can be the Pentagon. This can be a military base like Whiteman Air Force Base, where I spent a lot of my career. It could be the White House. And then you can watch that device and watch what it does. And then that device will go home, right? Often to the same place every night. So now you can say, okay, well, who owns that home? Now you can start to tie a person to the device. Now you have the person, you have the device, and now you can begin to watch that. Where's that person go, right? It's a way to build a picture about what they do, and that's just for somebody that's not within a platform like TikTok, right? So that's just the data, the metadata that's collected around that device. You can buy it; anybody can buy it, and so that's information. But then, if you're actually in the platform itself, now you can not only collect that information, you know exactly who it is. And not only that, you know the things that they respond to, right? So you can get a good picture of the personality type of the person and the behavior patterns and the things that they like. And that can lead into, where you bump and say, hey, I just happened to randomly bump into this person and, hey, how's it going? By the way, you know what they like, all the things they care about. You can strike up a conversation. This can end up developing into a friendship. And then that's how you become, an asset. So it is literally the best tool. So, I mean, when the Chinese Communist Party did this, it was actually, in my opinion, the most brilliant use of technologies. Like, we talk about nuclear weapons being dangerous. Yeah, they're dangerous, they're destructive, but there is literally no weapon that's ever been created that's as dangerous in the context of what war is, which is a political act, than what Silicon Valley created. It is literally the most dangerous weapon known to mankind because it's subtle, and most people aren't. They're not. They don't understand the technology. They don't understand how it's used or how it can be used. Not just people don't understand it. Our own government doesn't understand it. Right? They're not. Our intelligence community doesn't own Google, doesn't own Facebook, it doesn't own Twitter. I mean, it's tried to and we've seen that, particularly with the Twitter files, that, hey, this was going on. But it doesn't own those platforms. China owns those platforms, right? So they become part of the fabric of Western society, and then they become assets for the Chinese Communist Party. Whether it's, TikTok, and then ByteDance owns TikTok, and ByteDance is a Chinese company, or it's Facebook, and you're able to get in and exploit their information. So whether they're and I would, that's where if I was going to build the most effective war machine today, it would be the war machine that, basically Silicon Valley built. And it's not, they don't consider it a war machine, but if war is a political act and you can achieve political influence through this tool, then by nature, can't that be viewed as a weapon of war? I mean, the way we used it in Kosovo, the B-2, was we used stealth bomber, 2,000-pound bombs to take out factories owned by and other assets owned by the elite in Kosovo to get them to give up Milosevic. And within 2 weeks of us starting to do that, they did. And this is so literally in the Pentagon, I'm sitting there in 2014 and I get this briefing and I start to look at this. I'm like, wait a second, this is going on in our society. This influence of our corporate sector. And it's the same thing that we did in Kosovo, but I was doing it with 2,000-pound bombs. They're just doing it. It's the way they do business. And you start to go around the government, and as we did, and like, who knows about this? Who understands? Nobody, because the businesses aren't going to talk to government. They're afraid to tell government what's going on. Then it gets announced to the public and it affects their valuation, or in some way torpedoes their business. So they don't want to share that information with the government. They want to cover it up, keep it quiet. This is going on across the United States. I mean, it's going on across every Western society. This slow erosion of our industrial base, our capacity. So I mean, it is really, really effective to wage war in this way, and you don't have to create a whole lot of risk around it.
No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.